Great, whenever you're ready. style and rubato and how to use that and drama, and it's full of all those things. It's one of the things I really like about Mertz. It's very rich in a number of ways, textural changes and all that. Before I sort of jump in with my observations, are there things that you're thinking about that
one thing
you'd
that
like me to
one thing that I've always struggled with this piece is the amount of rubato and the amount of fluctuation in tempo. Because, for instance, in the end, at least for me and my technical abilities, if I take this the same speed as I take this is either way too slow or this is way too fast for me. So it's like, I'm just wondering what degree of, and this is something I've talked with everyone I've played this piece for, and just the amount of rubato, give and take, and even,
Okay. Well, here's where, I mean, I didn't sense that there were any troubles over here either with tempo. I didn't feel that there was anything I lost from it being moving too fast or sustaining from being too slow. Usually the problems we have are sustained from a slow tempo, and this is an overall very slow piece.
Yeah.
But here you seem to be struggling with it a little bit more.
Yeah.
More in terms of, I wouldn't say it's a tempo issue, but I mean, that may be the answer. But more that I lost the pulsation.
Yeah.
I lost the feel of the meter.
Okay.
That's important, and that's the wall on rubato. If you've lost the sense of meter, it's not about tempo. If you've lost the sense of pulsation and tactus, then something has to be done about that, an adjustment in that area. Could I see you play that? Actually, I was thinking about some other things when you got there, and by the time I found where you were at the end.
Yeah.
So could you work into that somewhere? Whether you want to start in this section?
Sure.
I figured it out. So really, here you're actually not in the same tempo.
Yeah.
It's this that causes the troubles here.
Okay.
So there aren't apparent difficulties in their arpeggios because it's easy for you, and you push it, and then you're in trouble here.
Okay.
I don't know if you're practicing with a metronome.
Not this part. Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard because whenever I practice with a metronome with this piece, there's so much rubato in the phrases, and some of them, like this phrase right here, if I would play it to a metronome, it just frustrates me because there's a rubato that's built into the music, and yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's a major advanced piece in terms of rubato control.
Yeah.
For that very reason. Have you done much 19th century music prior to this piece?
Not this era. I played a Giuliani Sonata, Opus 25, I think. 15? Okay, I didn't have 5.
Yeah, but it's not going to be the same degree.
I played Granada by Albanese, which is kind of late.
Mm-hmm. Still,
yeah,
here it's quite
so
different.
nothing, nothing like this.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll tell you some ideas I have about using a metronome and still practicing rubato.
Okay.
Practicing rubato with a metronome, and the first thing to do is you find your optimal tempo as you did with this. How fast can I play that without this being too, how slow can I play that without this being too slow, et cetera, et cetera. Finding that right tempo. But more importantly, you have to take a step further with that and find a range for this piece.
Okay.
And I even do that with every piece. I suggest that for students that, we're tempted to say, here's my tempo.
Yeah.
Well, on a cold day, maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah.
On a day when you're, maybe that you've learned that and achieved that tempo, you think your optimal tempo, sitting by the fireplace with your shoes kicked off, which is not like on stage with hot lights and your suit on.
Okay.
So, I suggest having a range of tempi that you find out on your cold day, like come in from the cold and play that piece and write down that tempo.
Okay.
We tend to sort of think optimistically, like, I can work it up to 120.
Yeah.
Well, on that really good day, but what about the rest?
Yeah.
Have a plan.
Okay.
That. So, for all pieces, but I think especially in terms of a piece you're going to work with rubato on, because that flexibility will apply to tempo. I kind of think, again, we want to keep with the metronome, but not always. But so what I'm going to tell you is, you find that range of tempi, you're going to write that. Then you're going to practice this first, isolated, and and play strict from this section to this and through this section.
Okay.
Really strictly, and to be honest with yourself about the fact that you're going to notice that you speed up where it's easy, and you get yourself into a corner with this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's going to be resolved.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
But if not, and you feel like you want to push this, then you're going to have to own up to doing the same here.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, probably not. Because this part,
Because I just lose the tempo. I lose the meter.
Yeah.
So, and I think here's actually why. Because you have duple time bass notes. The way it looks, but it's still three. It's still compound triple.
Yeah.
When you look at them this way. Right.
Yeah.
I think you're getting caught up in the smaller subdivisions of the 16th note bass notes, and you're pushing that
Yeah.
as you get excited and you're seeing this
Yeah.
crescendo. Let's just try that. If you just stick with seeing the eighths, I'll even put it up here. Just seeing the eighth note rhythm, and only emphasizing every other eighth, every other P. So but let's get into that. Start hearing. Here it is. Dee, da, da, then boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah. Caught the rhythm, forgot the notes. So.
Yeah, look, after all, let's just look at the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
The upbeat thumb, the second thumb, is always the same note.
Yeah.
That's not even really important.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the arpeggio. It's part of the texture. But what we really want to hear is bum 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 bum, right?
Yeah.
But you're playing them like all those thumbs are important.
Okay.
You know, like P is saying, "Yeah, I'm important all the time."
Yeah.
You know? Sorry. And look, and here's your cue for what you're going to be.
Okay.
Your focus is there, transferred to the bass.
Okay.
Ya da da bum bum bum. You just carry that through.
Okay.
Could you try it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're almost double timing it. That's how fast that was. It's so you see you've practiced that so much it's hard to change, but you will with a metronome.
Yeah.
It's not going to affect your rubato.
Yeah.
It's just going to be in the realm of possibility now. Where
if anything, it'll help get a home ground to come back to when
that's it.
happens.
Get grounded again in that basic eighth note pulse.
Great. that'll make this section a lot.
Oh yeah, you'll hear too.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So, but let's look at now some things. Was there something else that you?
No, that's.
Oh, okay. I think that's going to be easy. So now, some things I noticed. Okay, so we talked about slow tempo, and the hard thing on guitar. I mean, the biggest challenge I think is really slow tempi and having things sustain.
Yeah.
Especially in this beginning. But you know, what's Mertz using to keep it alive and keep it moving? I think it's Largo.
Yeah, he's slowly building the values to make it. I mean, he's going from quarter. Yeah.
That's what he uses. You know, like the pieces I played the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this. That's pretty deadly slow. No, that's actually too fast. I did. But when it really gets into the tune, that's how you're going to keep this going.
Adding a whole lot in the background.
And it's everything to do with shape.
Yeah.
You know, to give a swell, I can't go, no, I can hope it's going to do that. It's going to be what you do underneath.
Yeah, okay.
That is controlling the vibrato, the rubato, forward motion and the slackening. That's controlling it, because the long notes, even the eighth notes are the long notes. They're not going to go anywhere.
Okay.
And in fact, that underlying tremolando, he uses it so effectively that sometimes with chords, sometimes it's thirds or a full arpeggio. Sometimes it's a chord, if a triad is repeated. That's what I was getting at.
Okay.
That's what's going to help you sustain. Now, having said that, we do have to hang on to notes up there. If they're shorted, we really lose something. That one really gets to me. It must be. I would think there's another way to. So it goes. And not.
Yeah. This is how I made a mistake there, but by cutting out one of the notes in order to prepare for the next chord.
What if you did this? I'm just trying to avoid. Okay, I think there are a couple of fingerings that could work, but it's more about timing that I would suggest you think about it taking more time.
Okay.
Well, he stopped the accompaniment. Ya dum dum, ya dum dum, so that you can go. Ba-da. I think that if you elongate it, even with the fingering you had, but my hand doesn't want to release that very comfortably, so I'm going to get this. I would tend, for my hand, that's about as legato as I can get it. But in any case, leaning on the B. Until you're ready to release.
Okay.
It's more about the timing, but you do have to have comfortable fingers.
So just keeping the melody sustained.
But see that mini rubato, that mini slackening? I don't know what you do, but I use these arrows to indicate motion. And what I like about that is for ritardandi and accelerando, when you see, we see in a score ritardando, accelerando, for how many notes? But if you decide, after working it out, why not put a line, just like we do for the wedge or crescendo, why not be specific about that? So what I did was I put it over the B and the A. Backwards arrow, which means to me slacken the time there. On those notes. Make some notations that help you. We do it for fingerings, why not for musical symbol? Could you try that again? See if you can wait on the B. Pay attention to how your hand feels before you release the B. Just sit on the B. That's longer than probably you want to wait. But you practice that way, and then you'll shrink that down as you feel comfortable. But that break, I really listen for breaks like that. I B a new phrase, or is that part of the
This one?
previous?
This one right here?
Yeah, where is that? Was that live in the same phrase or a new phrase?
It's well, it's kind of in the middle of one, but in the kind of antecedent consequence type of.
So would you breathe? That's my point. Would you breathe there or not?
Yeah.
So you'd breathe. Yeah.
Maybe not that much because it's not. I think I would, but not as much as say I breathe here.
Yeah. Something to think about.
Yeah.
To me, it seemed like a big
Okay.
positive. Because I hear it. Well, what's the relationship harmonically? Are we relaxing there or moving into tension? Away from tension or in?
Going into tension.
So if that's kind of a shock to me that it doesn't build. And remember what he does, he uses these for to go somewhere. So are we going? Well, then you can't go.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
You have to decide.
Yeah.
That's why I started with the question of where does that B belong? Is the end
Yeah.
of one beginning or is it in the middle?
Yeah.
And so you can answer that partly with where we started the conversation about this piece musically is, how does he sustain a long piece? Well, chords. So where are the chords going? Into dissonance, into tension. So I don't think I'd break, which means I think that had more dramatic impact. You took away that drama by breaking there, I think.
Okay. All right. And
So I made little marks where that, for me,
where
I was
the break
hearing that.
happened. Yeah.
Like tension increased here.
Yeah.
You have this, and then you have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the G sharp and the bass. Yeah. Well, there was a break.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Probably because of that shift.
So you may need to do this.
Yeah.
Inside of this. You see look what I've combined.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You might slow down. Now a clue in Mertz's music I find to rubato sometimes occurs with an accent. He's using that accent to hold us back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why would I think that? Well, because when you make an accent, you're actually the note is getting more time. It has to, because physically you're digging in more. Whether you're blowing an instrument, you're singing louder. There's some physical action that's going to take more time on the note. You're giving it more attention. What are the things that do that? Vibrato gives more attention to a note and more time, right? Ornamentation adds attention and more time to a note. Accent.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all categories of see me, I'm the important note.
Yeah.
So he's got an accent on the middle note of a compound triple.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. That sort of suggests that this is happening in a small level.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which means, I think, dragging a little bit. So you have, which gives you the physical time to prepare for that one.
Okay.
Did you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Whoop, you did the opposite. It works, right? You suddenly feel more like that's the way it moves, the phrase moves.
Okay.
Watch for accents that are in a strange place.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only just about accent.
Yeah.
And in fact, that one you didn't do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's often a dissonant note.
Yeah.
It's a non-chord tone.
Yeah.
I suggested you give yourself some more time here,
Mm-hmm.
because if you were singing this melody, that's a big leap.
Yeah.
Physical time again, translating
Mm-hmm.
distance, translate. Look, okay. Those intervals are easy to play. Sing them that fast.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
Sometimes on guitar, just because of the tuning and accessibility of wide
Yeah.
intervals, we play them like they aren't. And I think that goes against the musicality.
Yeah.
But my favorite example of that is this. Sorry. You know, and people play that. What cellist does that?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying imitate cello just because it's cello. I'm saying there's a physical connection with the distance of notes and whether placement on an instrument. Bach wrote it for that instrument because he knows the physical nature of it and the spacings,
Mm-hmm.
so we can learn something from. And it suddenly sounds more dimensional. That just levels out everything. Now it's flat.
Okay.
So this was not flat. You have a melody. That actually is a static melody,
Mm-hmm.
which allows him to create more tension in the
harmony.
chord. Right?
Yeah.
It's waiting to become a melody. Dee da dee da, and then you have. But that takes time. Da, ya, da.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go ya da ya da. It
Okay.
sounds awkward even to do it accurately.
Yeah.
So here. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah.
So you had trouble with the note. Actually, it wasn't that you missed.
Yeah.
It just wasn't really secure. It seemed a little tentative.
Yeah.
Well, I think you could solve that by recognizing that interval and giving it its due time,
Okay.
which it gets more time
Yeah.
than those seconds.
Okay.
Could you play that?
Yeah.
It's like waiting to become a melody, and then here comes, give it some time.
Okay.
You see what that does?
Yeah.
Now the phrase seems
Yeah.
longer even,
Yeah.
instead of little moments.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's one thing I love about Mertz. You know, look, he's in the time of
Mm-hmm.
Schumann and everybody's these long melodies. And he solved how to do that on guitar,
Mhm.
but only if you see that and use this tremolando
Yeah.
to help you do your crescendos and your
Yeah.
long phrasings.
Okay.
Here, same thing. Okay, yeah, because it's that same thing.
Yeah.
Recognize the intervals in the melody. Don't get caught up in all the little.
Yeah.
That's just background. It's energizing. It's directing. That's what the function is of the tremolando. It
Mhm.
gets you somewhere, but
Yeah.
you have to know where.
Yeah.
And then this one, speaking of where, the E just didn't speak really
Okay.
cleanly, and that's the end of the phrase.
Yeah.
You,
That's the.
you remember?
Yeah.
So give yourself time to note that and to set it, and then move on.
Okay.
Here again. You know, you were trying to get to that, but you were thinking already of the next thing.
Yeah.
Be in the moment. This will come.
Yeah.
And then go. See what I did? It's this again. Right?
Yeah.
Well, okay. You know, it's Tarraga or Mertz. If they put a slide in there, that's like, look, you have permission to have more time. Not only permission, I'm telling you, you need to take time on that and not go and not try to keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
But land. on the bass note,
Yeah.
but you can delay the bass notes by way of.
Yeah.
Exactly. Could you play that E major? Then go after you arrive. Arrive first.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Misterioso. What? How do you make it misterioso? What's mysterious about it?
I think. How you mean? What's mysterious about the section, or how should I play it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's mysterious because of all of this swirling notes going on, all the arpeggio.
Oh, but that's over.
Yeah. Then you.
He
you
doesn't
see
say
this.
it there.
Yeah.
After the swirly stuff, then he says misterioso.
Yeah. Well, it's mysterious because it's coming after all this and all the. It's kind of like relaxation.
How are we gonna know? You see the word, but how are we gonna know?
Probably creating a difference between these voices, kind of. Well, actually, it would be different because he puts the sforzando.
There's three things there in the notation. There's the word, that's
Yeah.
up to your imagination.
Yeah. There's
What
the
colors are you going to use?
sforzando and the accent.
But just say sforzando, accent, arpeggio. That's like three big instructions. And it comes to rest
5
right
seconds.
there. To me, mysterious. I find the most mysterious the guitar can be is in the extremes of, and it's tone related. It's timbre.
Mhm.
That it's either. I think the most mysterious is this.
Yeah.
You have right there, like, really, especially piano and bright.
Yeah.
But mysterious could be. That could be. I mean, dark, muddy,
Okay.
mellifluous is mysterious, or scary. You know, that kind of nasty, mysterious. And I played them both soft, but what I was trying to do is keep the same dynamic, but show you
Yeah.
color is, I think, what it's about.
Okay.
That's your option.
Yeah.
The articulation is not your option.
Yeah.
So it could. So to do his articulation and contrast those. Yeah, or it could be. Which one do you like?
Yeah.
That I definitely didn't feel that from
Mhm.
the choice you made, which was kind of a safe one.
Yeah.
You know, and the most important one I think is
Yeah.
that's the unresolved note. I'd hang on to that one. And personal, just personal.
Yeah.
And maybe it could be a change.
Okay. Yeah.
I think people cry.
Yeah.
That's my goal, make people cry. So, think about color there. I think your question about this is resolved too in the same way.
Yeah.
That I think you were rushing where it's easier, so and then this became a problem. Here, real quick, I know I think we need to probably move on, but stretching and you didn't feel comfortable, there wasn't a real solid C many times in there. I made a note, left hand thumb and elbow. It seemed like your thumb wasn't in a position to help support to the fourth finger
Okay.
in its stretch. So think about, maybe rethink about where the thumb is and how it can help. And your elbow too. I mean, do you know how, does anybody know how that elbow position can help with a stretch?
Yeah, if you bring it towards your body, the guitar body, then you open up.
Yeah, a simple thing to remember is just have your relaxed hand over the guitar.
Yeah.
This is really great, elbow in for along the string playing, right? But for a B flat chord, not so good.
Yeah.
So, but without doing anything with fingers, there's the B flat chord, just the elbow. So remember, if you can get the elbow in to assist with stretches, and the thumb is part of the equation.
Yeah. Okay.
So right in there. And then the last thing I wanted to say was, where was it? Oh, what about, maybe consider these chords. What is it? Maybe it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be now. It could be. Maybe. I think that's more powerful than. And even visually. Yeah. The trick with it is to be relaxed, because if you kind of dig in, it's a nasty sound, and it'll slow you down. You won't get back for the tremolo. So.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I did that in the gondola. It's really powerful. A sweep is powerful in any. A sweep is always more powerful than this.
Yeah.
Much more powerful and less tiring.
Yeah.
Than this. So maybe, but
Okay.
the trick is to
Recover.
just immediately relax. Yeah.
Okay.
But you may or may not like that.
I'll experiment with that. Thank you.
So yeah, hopefully these things
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
help out. Okay.
Appreciate it.